All right, we are now live. What's going on, everyone? My name is Kotetsu, and yes, I am back on the Gamerz realm. But it's not just me here. We have some other, not guests, but other teammates here as well. As we're going to introduce ourselves with Ryan DRAYSON. Say hello.
How's it going?
And CHRONOZ.
What's up, guys?
Who doesn't pay us to do this at all? We don't get paid to do this at all.
I know. I don't have money.
But anyway, welcome. This is episode 86. Episode 86. That's a pretty we started this 2020 in like April.
Yep.
April, and we're at episode 26. So it's actually pretty.
Cool. 86.
What did I say?
26.
26. I'm thinking of something else. Like 26 just hopped in my head all of a sudden. That's weird. But anyway, but before we get started, just want to ask everyone, how's everyone doing? Everyone doing good? How's everybody's week? Also, I want to do a nice little icebreaker with everyone, if everyone will indulge me, which I picked up from working with One Up Crew, which we still have our stuff going. We asked a question, and we usually add in the question. What am I talking about? And the question is, what games have you been playing this week? Even if you spent half an hour on it, hour, even 20 seconds on it, just to get a little break from outside world. But what games has everyone been playing this week? So whoever wants to go first, feel free.
Go ahead, Ryan. Hold on, I'm about to sneeze here.
Bless you.
Why gotta happen right now, for real? Okay. Oh, you want to go first, Ryan, or you want me to?
You go for. I got to do the introduction first, so you go first.
All right. Let's see what I've been playing. Actually, I haven't been playing as much, but I did finish completing Metroid Dread.
Okay.
Amazing game. Even for those fans who have tried it, I'm sure they liked it at least. But amazing game. But I'm now starting a game in. I played a little bit of Ghostbusters on Switch, but I'm playing now Far Cry 6 on PS5.
Nice.
Okay. What's your completion time on Metroid Dread?
I don't remember. I was just happy that I finished it. I didn't. I was just like, yes. And then it gave me hard mode, and I was like, nah, fuck. I mean, no, hell no, I ain't doing this. No hard mode for me. You know how many times I've died, and we've all died a billion times.
Oh yeah.
Boss, figuring out how to defeat the boss. I was like, I'm good. Game completion, and I love the game, but I'm not sure if I'm going to have too much replay value on it. But
right, you're not going to go back and get all the stuff.
I got almost all of the stuff, but I don't know. Maybe I'll do a speed run through it. But I feel like this game is. I can go back and play the heck out of Metroid, Super Metroid. But I still love Metroid Dread, but it's just I find my life being so busy. I just want to keep playing new games and new games.
I get
the games that I want to play. So maybe I will go back to it later. I just know I enjoyed the heck out of it. A lot of cool bosses and brought back some oldies.
They did.
So you guys beat it? You guys played it?
Oh yeah, I finished it. I finished it already. Like a couple weeks ago. I finished it.
I assure you that I probably beat it a few hours before you, Kotetsu.
Like, what do you mean a few hours before? Like, time-wise? I think my time is like 9. I think mine is like 9 hours. I think my completion time was 9 hours, I think.
Are we able to see that on record on our stuff?
Yeah, no, I'll show you right now because I posted it on Twitter and I said, yo, completion time, and it was like 9 hours. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But yeah, Ryan, what was the game that you've been playing? Any games that you've been playing this week?
So, 2, unless you really count DLC, but it's at best like a half a game in terms of content. So, there's that meme online where it's like the 4 people in pictures. The one guy is Will Poulter, I think is the actor's name, and his is always like the most clueless reaction. So my one would be like Animal Crossing, and I'm like him in that meme where it's like, you guys stop playing this game. Like, I never stopped playing it. I just played it for shorter and shorter periods of time and got down to like only maybe half an hour a night, but I was always putting time into it. And now with the new content from the final big update and the DLC, I'm putting a lot more time into it. The DLC is pretty fun. It just kind of depends, like, do you actually have any interest in designing the home spaces and having a little bit of creative freedom to make them based around a theme rather than like be someone's house kind of thing.
Right.
And then other than that, I am still working my way through Metroid Dread. My completion time will be basically abhorrent to anyone who's played the game. I'm super OCD with filling out the map and getting all of the collectibles. So I think I'm about 86% completion. I just did the final Emmy, and I'm at like 30 hours or so into the game.
I would definitely say that the completing everything part will definitely come before you get to the end, because as you know, we all know that you can't, some areas you can't even get to, because you have to get that power to be able to access that area. And then the backtracking in that game is insane. So you have to remember, okay, I need this power to get here, so when I get it, I got to go back, and it could be like all the way on the other side. Even taking the teleporters, they don't always get you to where you want to go. They only have it accessible to that specific area. So you have to like literally backtrack all the way around. But I hear what you're saying.
Well, and if you're stupid like me and like obsessive about the map has to be like filled in every little square of it, then you're wasting a ton of time. Like,
you know what?
I know that I'm doing it, but I'm like, I have to do this. I'm not leaving.
I actually just looked at my stuff just now, and I do recall spending a lot of time just trying to get every part of the map. I swear to you, I thought I got every part of the map, and my items is only at 69%. What the fudge? I thought
there's a lot. No, because there's a lot. There's a lot of other stuff. There's like a lot of little secret areas that you probably forgot that you need this power to get.
I went to how do you say what do you call those energy tanks do we get?
I don't know.
I gotta stop and count mine the next time I play. I don't know.
But I think I can share screen. Can I share screen?
I got 13 energy tanks.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna share screen this real quick. So you're gonna see Inception, and then look at this: 9 hours, 17 minutes, and 59 seconds.
How many bars?
That's my clear time. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, I can see it. 9, 17, 59.
Yeah, that's my clear time. It was pretty insane because I did like 4 hours.
How many energy tanks do you have?
I don't know. I don't recall.
Yeah, but my completion time. My completion time was 12 hours, so I was kind of roaming around. I swear to you, I scoured every single inch of the damn place, and now I'm looking at 69%. Like, whatever. Cool. I enjoyed the game. It was great.
I know Metroid games is like you have to have every power up to literally be able to go back and check everything, because I think the last one you get is it's either the grapple or the super dash or something like that. I think that's one of the last ones. And some of those areas you need to go back and go do that. So, but but I'm glad that we all enjoyed Metroid Dread. Metroid Dread was a good game. I enjoyed it.
Great game.
For me, I have 2 games I've been playing. I've been playing Shin Megami Tensei 5, which is a really good RPG on the Switch. I've been just doing everything. All this stuff. I'm not even I'm still in the first area because I've just been doing subquests and grinding and leveling up. So that's a big thing. And a recent game that came out recently in Japan is called Megaton Musashi, which, if anyone knows me, anything that has mechs in it, I'm going to play no matter what. So that has a good, what am I trying to say? It has nice mech action with customization from the parts, the weapons, the abilities, the other stuff that bring up stats. It's a good combination. I've been enjoying that a lot.
Cool.
Enjoying that one a lot. All right, so we had a nice icebreaker. It was cool. I like
that was good. That was good.
That was very good.
Break,
Yeah,
get people loose and talking.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of gaming news, whole bunch of movie news, and of course, CHRONOZ has some stuff he wants to talk about the Midwest gaming. So we're going to be hearing about that soon. But first, let's get into the gaming news. I'll try to go as not take up too much time. I have a lot of stuff. And feel free, guys, if you guys want to put any input on any of this stuff here as well. So first off, Monday, Microsoft had its 20th anniversary. No, it can't be 20th, 25, 30, somewhere around there. Somewhere in the high double digits. They had their anniversary of the first release of the first Xbox, which is cool. I didn't have one, but I know my cousin did, and we always enjoyed it. So they had this nice little video going. They had some announcements there. During the presentation, I'll say, they announced that they added 76 more backwards games that can be played on backwards compatibility. Things like Xbox and Xbox 360 games in there. The one game I was really excited about was Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, because that was probably my favorite Star Wars game before the Star Wars Unleashed, and the Jedi Fallen Order, because it was just something that I've always wanted in a Star Wars game. And for those who are Halo fans, those who have an Xbox One or an Xbox Series, they also released the Halo Infinite multiplayer beta. Now they call it a beta, but it's really a soft release. Like if you like, it's really a soft release, and the reason is because they have achievements activated on there. You can buy the battle pass on there as well. So they call it a beta, but it's really a soft release for the game until the full package comes on December 8th, which is the campaign mode, which is said is supposed to be the biggest campaign they've ever done in a Halo game. And I believe it. I've seen some of the stuff that they've done, and I played all the Halo games, and to see what they're doing in Halo Infinite is kind of crazy. And also, if you're looking forward to playing with your friends on December 8th, well, unfortunately, you have to keep waiting because they pushed the co-op mode till May. I don't know why they pushed the co-op mode till May. You would think that this would be something that can be easily inputted, but I'm assuming because of how they built the campaign that they can't just do a simple co-op mode because how campaign is being built. So I'm sure they need as much time as they need to work on this campaign, but we can all still enjoy the multiplayer, which is really good. I've been playing it, and the campaign, which will be dropping in about a couple weeks or so. So hopefully you guys look forward to that. In more gaming news, WB, I don't know if you guys heard, but WB Games just dropped a free-to-play Smash-like game called Multiverses, which looks, to me, honestly, I think that game will probably be the best secondary Smash Bros. Game that we'll see because everything looks very fluid. You know, we have, and I'm saying this with enthusiasm, we have all authentic voices. Mm-hmm. Because if you know about the Nintendo, I always say that the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, they didn't have that in that game. I think SpongeBob was the only character that had it, and everyone else was kind of like just didn't have voices in it at all. Or maybe they did, I don't know. And the gameplay itself looked really stiff for that. So when I saw the Multiverses, it's actually looks really solid. They said that they're gonna have a beta playtest coming soon. They're gonna be adding more characters. I'm assuming they're gonna add more cosmetics and costumes because it's a free to play game. Mm-hmm. I'm sure it's gonna be something like Brawlhalla. If you guys have heard and played Brawlhalla and how they have their systems where you can buy all their characters either using in-game currency or using premium currency, which is money. So that's gonna be pretty cool. I'm excited for that as well. Also, we have more gaming news. I have a lot of gaming news for everyone here.
Sure. I'm learning.
Gosh,
I had it in my head. I had something I wanted to talk about. Okay, that'll come back to me.
What are you thinking about that? How do you feel about going back to the multiverses, about the potential for Shaggy to one punch Superman?
You know what? I was talking to one of my friends about that, and I was like, usually companies don't embrace the meme like they did with Shaggy in there.
Oh,
Like, when
yeah.
you first saw Shaggy, he literally had like the Super Saiyan aura, and I
Yeah.
was like, you guys totally embrace the
Yeah.
meme that's been going on for at least like 4+ years, that Shaggy can be this huge fighter, and they totally just embraced it. And when I first saw that, I'm like, yo, you know how many Shaggy mains you guys just made out of everybody when you showed us that? And then one of my friends like, did you see Shaggy do a Shoryuken? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I just want to make sure I wasn't the only one who saw it. He has some cool costumes too. They tease some of his costumes. Like, he has a nice little a Shoto costume that he has, with his like kind of rugged beard and like the Shoto costume or Shoto gi. And then he has one where he looks like a Bruce Lee kind of style costume. And I'm like, yo, they definitely embrace the meme of Shaggy. And what I would, and I don't know if they have this in there, but if they have like something equivalent to like a Smash Ball, I can see Shaggy doing like a makeshift Hadouken or a Kamehameha wave, or him going like Ultra Instinct Shaggy as like his transformation. Like that'd be pretty dope. Real quick, want to shout out to JKW. What's up, man? Thank you for coming. Man, like I had a whole bunch of gaming news, and all of a sudden I'm like botching it. But anyway, it'll come back to me. But speaking of, we'll go off gaming and go to movie real quick. Movie stuff. Has anyone seen the new trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home? Has anyone seen that
I've seen it 3 or 4 times at least now.
Yeah. Same.
When did it come out?
Like what, Tuesday?
Tuesday 8:30 Eastern.
Yeah. Are you talking about the one? Hold on. Shoot. I saw a new one last night when I watched the Ghostbusters. I saw the new one.
Yeah, that'll be the one.
Yeah, that'll probably be
it. Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that'll probably be it. Everyone, we all suspected that we're going to see new villains. I think for me, I was honestly thinking that I was going to see the rumored, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in the trailer.
They didn't.
But they did. But there's a couple things that I saw that made me before I went on Twitter and social media and all that. I saw the first thing, I watched like 3 times after, and you see Electro and the Lizard jumping,
Box, right?
They're not jumping towards Tom Holland. They're jumping.
They're looking other ways than that.
So you're like, wait, what? Like, why do they do that? And then someone else pointed that, hey, did you see Lizard get knocked out? And you like look at it and you're like, yeah, like there's a split second where they show Lizard getting kicked. As he's flying towards something, you see him get kicked or whatever is happening to him. Yeah. So you're like, did they purposely edit out the other Spider-Man because they're trying to save that? For either the other trailer or for the movies.
Everyone's going crazy about that.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were talking about, but now that you mention it.
Yeah, because it's like you see like the Lizard flinch like in midair, and there's only speculation that it's either Andrew Garfield's version of Spider-Man kicked him or Tobey Maguire did it. Yeah. And then of course there was like a little one-off thing where Doc Ock throws Peter on the wall, and he's like, wait, you're not Peter Parker, because he's referring to his Peter Parker in his world. So that kind of either means that he's just been misplaced, or like you'll see Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker down the line or something.
It's at least a legitimate reference to
oh my god, I can't wait for that.
The Tobey Maguire movies.
And then they're also saying that when towards the end of the trailer, you see forgot her name, but Mary Jane, you see her falling off the structure, and you see Peter jumping for her. It wasn't Tom Holland's version of Peter Parker reaching his hand out. It was Andrew Garfield's version of him reaching hand out, and which makes me speculate now that if they're going to throw in Andrew Garfield in like that, they're probably going to throw him in at the moment. And this is spoilers, but is it really spoilers? The movie is like 10, 12 years old. At the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2, he's reaching out for Gwen before she dies. And if they were to do that, they would have to say, okay, Amazing Spider-Man is going to jump into the other dimension as he's reaching out for Gwen. And instead of grabbing Gwen, he grabs Mary Jane. Like if they did that, that would be perfect if they did that.
You know what? Where did you find that out? You know this.
No, it's because I've seen
that sounds really good though.
Like I've seen a lot. I've seen all the Spider-Man, and I just thought about that just now because
that would work really well.
Hand, but then I'm like, how crazy would that be? Is like if he's trying to save Gwen, but instead, as he's saving her, he gets thrown into Tom Holland's version of and he grabs Mary Jane instead. Like if Tom Holland can't get there, and then all of a sudden you see Andrew, the Amazing Spider-Man, come on, grab. Like
it'd be a good fan.
I don't know.
It would.
I don't know what I'm so excited for. I'm not sure either. See, it's so hard because that's going to be an epic Spider-Man, and I can't wait. I'm weighing it, that or Matrix, but I don't know. They're both going to flip me out.
Yeah, I think they clocked the Spider-Man movie to being 2 hours, 2 hours and 40 something minutes.
Yeah,
so we're definitely getting
one of the longest Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, and I'm really hoping that in this Spider-Man movie they don't just throw Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in the end and then that's it. I'm hoping that they have a nice little I hope they have the second hour of the movie. Like they come in at the second hour of the movie and they're just there to the end.
That they have some like story or reason for being there, not just
exactly. They don't just pop up because that would I'd be so upset if they just appear. Yeah, let's do.
They're just there for fan service. That's disappointing.
I don't want you to just service me as a fan. I really want them to have a stake in this movie.
Yeah,
you know. I really hope that so that you see interaction and like it's like I hope that you get to see. I hope this is what I want to say is I hope that the audience get to see the multiverse interaction, like how how us comic readers see multiverse interaction, where Peters meet other Peters and interact like that. I hope we get to see that in this movie.
Yeah,
but that'll be cool.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
The other interesting thing with the trailer, and I tweeted about this, is so the one line, and I guess. The one line, I guess, spoilers if you're trying to avoid the trailers, you want to go in fresh to the movie, but there's a line in it where they say like these guys all die fighting Spider-Man. So then that throws into question, other than Ock and Green Goblin, how many of these guys are actually the characters that we've seen before, and how many of them are just pulled from the multiverse? Like Sandman never dies.
Yeah, that's what I was telling someone too.
Arguably, the Lizard kind of dies in the sense that he's no longer the Lizard, but the serum still exists, and CHRONOZ is still alive, so you can bring him back. So that's not really dead.
Yeah,
and then Electro dies in Amazing 2, or at least his energy disperses. But that's a totally different, even though it's the same actor, totally different version. Like he looks nothing.
And that's what I was thinking about too, because he looks more of like the traditional. He doesn't look like the ultimate Electro. He looks like the Electro from the. So what I was thinking too is like these might not be, because Doc Ock has a new look too. His technical has red in it.
Arms,
so I was telling someone else, I was like, in the multiverse of Marvel, there's similarities, but there's small differences. So we might get the Andrew Garfield from Amazing Spider-Man, but not the one that we've seen in the movies. Like he might actually save Gwen Stacy, but since he's thrown into in the multiverse, he doesn't get her. You know what I'm saying? And Electro might look different. Hobgoblin, we don't know if this, and a lot of people are arguing that the Green Goblin, the Green Goblin in the Hobgoblin in Amazing Spider-Man 2 is Green Goblin, and it's like, no, Harry was always the Hobgoblin. He was never the Green Goblin. So we don't know if that's the Hobgoblin from Amazing Spider-Man 2 or Spider-Man 2. It looks more
towards
like
the end where he's
Spider-Man
got
2.
the nothing on.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, when you see him like swooping in and you see the
I'm pretty sure that's
goggles in the hoodie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just Willem Dafoe with his costume, kind of like he doesn't have the mask on. He has just goggles and like Because there's concept art online of him in like a kind of not battle damage, but he's added some crap to his suit, and it looks.
I always thought that was Hobgoblin. It would be cool if it was Hobgoblin. Like I would love to see Hobgoblin.
Yeah, we kind of do need like one more villain, not for the sake of the story, but just to do the Sinister Six in any
exactly
capacity.
Because we were supposed to get Sinister Six in Amazing Spider-Man 2, but they scrapped Amazing Spider-Man 2, so now a lot of people are like, no, it's not gonna be Sinister Six. I'm like, they wouldn't miss an opportunity to bring Sinister Six.
You're at 5. Just throw one more guy.
Yeah, we just need another. And there's speculation that people are saying that Venom might pop in because I haven't seen the last Venom movie, but someone told me that at the ending scene, Venom and Eddie are watching TV, and there's like a flash, and that's when the multiverse gets torn and everyone gets thrown all over. So they're saying that Venom got thrown into the Spider-Man universe, and that's when Venom sees that Peter Parker was unmasked and he's Spider-Man. And he's like, "What the heck?" So there's so many we don't know.
He has to be
until we don't know. And then, but that's the also thing too, because there's licensing, because Sony and Disney own Spider-Man, but Sony owns Venom, so we don't know if Sony's like, "Hey, can we put Venom in here too?" So there's that, and we don't.
What did they
we won't know until we see the movie. There's so much speculation, but we won't know until we see the movie. And
it's gonna be huge. Whatever they do, it's gonna be huge.
Yeah, it's a 2-hour movie, so we're going to get stuff from that movie. We're not going to get nothing in a 2 hour.
It'll be a ride in a good.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
So I remember what I was going to talk about for gaming news. So next up in the gaming news, I don't know if you guys know about something called Riot Forge, which happened I think a couple days ago. It was Riot Games' little thing that they had where they were showing off a whole bunch of spin-off games based off the League of Legends series. And I know one that was released, it was the Riot King. It's an RPG, but if you have anyone heard of have any of you guys heard of Battle Chasers? There's a game called Battle Chasers that came out a little while ago.
That's based off an indie comic.
I haven't heard.
Popular former Marvel artist.
Yeah, and you've seen the battle system of how they have that game.
Kind of.
Riot Kings looks a little bit like that, but with of course, the League of Legends lore in it.
Okay.
And that released a couple days ago, and they have another game that released called Hexen Mayhem, which looks like just like a platformer, and that one dropped the same day. And there's like a couple other ones that didn't release yet because they're still in production of that as well. And of course, and 2 more things I want to talk about. First thing is the GTA Definitive Edition debacle. Like, how that just flopped. Apparently, when they built the games, so if you guys didn't know about what happened, is that the games just didn't run well at all. Like once they released it, they just didn't run well. And the reason being is I didn't notice until Cliff, he showed me something about it, was that when they did the game, they didn't take the original PS2 version of the game. They used the Android versions, which had issues already.
Yeah.
So they just took a broken game already and took it and put it on consoles and thought it was going to work.
Why are you putting a mobile game on consoles if you have a console
like
version
why
to
not?
use?
Yeah, like and even when the mobile versions were out, people were like, "Yo, this is having issues. The console versions are better." So the fact that they were like, "Let's just do this because I don't know if it's because it was easier or what, but it was really lazy." And so even when I was looking at it, I was like looking at comparisons. I'm like, "Yeah, this is a horrible. Like this is the newer version and this is the older version. That looks horrible. Like what did they do?" And I heard it was the mobile version they used, which is not always the best way to go about it. Is taking it, just take the original, make it look nice, upscale it, stretch the ratio out, and then you have your remaster instead of taking a broken version. And there was so much slack about it. They took them off the stores. Like they're not in any of the marketplaces anymore. Like they totally pulled a Cyberpunk 2077 thing where they just took the game out of the store altogether. They did the same thing with this. They took them out of the store and they're not there anymore. And then they issued an apology, and they said they're going to work on the game and make sure it's polished. But my issue is, like, first of all, the game came out of nowhere. Like, I don't think anyone knew that they were even going to do a definitive for all 3 games. And that's always a kind of a wait, what? And then it came out like 3 weeks later. That's always that's always a red flag to me, because we've seen when they do that, and it's just like, you guys didn't do anything with this game. You guys just put it out for everybody. So they said that they apologize and they're gonna work on it, but like, isn't there like testing before you do all that stuff?
There should be,
before you release all that. So it's kind of funny that they did that. But that's that. And then, of course, the last thing I'm going to talk about. Oh, I have one more thing too, but we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Last thing the last gaming thing we're going to talk about is, of course, everyone who has wanted to play Diamond and Pearl, you can now, because Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond are out for the Switch right now. And I have a friend who has it. He's enjoying it. Me personally, like, I never, not to be a downer Debbie, but I think I stopped playing Pokemon at some point after Emerald, so I didn't care about the other versions until.
Was this one not that good, or?
No. I mean, people are liking it. For me personally, if I didn't care about playing it then I don't have any reason to go back and play and spend like the $60 just to play it now. Like, I you know, it's especially if all the Pokemon that I can transfer from home, if I already have them, if they're already accessible in Sword and Shield, then I don't see a reason for me to go back and get them again. If I can get them again in Sword and Shield, like, I don't have any reason to do that. So, I'm waiting for Arceus. Arceus is going to be a game that I'm definitely going to invest my time in, is Arceus. So,
what is that? Another Pokemon game?
That's the one that's kind of like, looks more open, like Breath of the Wild, or people are saying it's more like kind of a Monster Hunter style gameplay.
Pokemon?
It's called Pokemon Legends Arceus. Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering, when does that come out?
It's coming out in January. I think January 28th. They said it's supposed to be dropping. They announced it last year during the Pokemon event.
Yeah,
they had their 25-year Pokemon event, where they showed off all the stuff they did before and how it became a pop culture revolution and all that stuff. And then they gave us all the announcements and everything. They gave us a Shining Diamond and Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl announcement, and then they had a sleeper one because no one expected this one. We all knew they were going to do a Brilliant, Diamond and Pearl remake, but no one knew that they had something else on the back burner, and they ended up giving us this. So it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if you see it, you'll definitely be down for it. I am. I can't wait for it. It actually looks cool.
Arceus is the first I've been like tempted to try a Pokemon game, and so similarly to what Kotetsu is saying, I stopped at some point and just like never got back into it. My stopping point was honestly Gold and Silver. When they announced the Game Boy Advance ones, I'm like, this looks like the same game.
Because it's just the same thing.
Better graphics. Yeah. It's funny. A game series based on things evolving itself doesn't ever actually evolve. And good for Pokemon that it's made money off of that. I know some people online that are excited for and have bought either was it Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, one or the other of those. Yeah. And awesome. I'm glad they're excited about it. I personally am like, I can pass on this. I don't feel any kind of desire to get it.
I feel the same way. The only reason I got Sword and Shield because I'm like, oh, it's on the Switch, so there should be something different. But besides the nice little sandbox open world we got, not too much was different there. So and the Gigantamax thing Dynamax didn't really appeal to me that much.
I liked it. It's weird.
Because it for me, I thought what made me go back to Pokemon was the fact that it was going on the 3DS, it was in 3D, and like the Mega Evolution. So you're just like, okay, this is kind of a big thing. And then Sun and Moon had the Z moves, which were like super moves, which was really cool, and every Pokemon had one. And then they brought the Mega Evolutions back again, which was cool. The reason I didn't like the Dynamax because you can only do them either doing a Dynamax battle or doing a tournament or fighting in a tournament or online battle or with a online battle, or like you use it in like the tournament type, like the Pokemon trainer, or was it the gyms? That's the only time you can use them. You can't use them outside of that, or if you're doing a den. So they were kind of limited to how many times you can actually do them. So that's why I kind of was just like, this is kind of a like, it's not, like I said, it's not like Z moves or Mega Evolution where you can just bust them out any time. It was like you can only do this in certain situations, which for me, I would forget about Dynamax if I didn't do that stuff, because it wasn't accessible unless you did that. So I think the best part of Sword and Shield was the DLC. That was like the best part of the entire game was the DLC.
That did look good.
So
I still haven't beat. I'm up to Leon. I stopped at that point after I lost the first battle against him. But I have to eventually go back when I have time and build up my power, and then go back at him.
Yeah. And then the last bit of gaming / entertainment news, for those who've been around a little bit around the gaming community or the gaming scene, we all know the channel that was called Tech TV that had an awesome show on there that was called X Play, where we got to see a whole bunch of reviews and games and stuff like that. Then they rebranded themselves to G4, which had just nothing but tech information from, shows like Attack of the Show, X Play, of course. And there was another one that they did like a lot of like tech reviews. And I remember watching with that show, and they showed off, someone did a build of an Xbox, a PS2, and a GameCube all on one build, and you can just swap between them. And I was like, that's the best thing. That's the amazing thing I've ever seen. And I forget the name of that show. I wish I can remember it, but I started watching that show too. And then of course the show went away, I think like late 2000s. But as of this week, as of Monday, they relaunched G4, and it is now a part of Twitch and on YouTube. So I think, that's a huge thing, because G4 definitely was a big part of the gaming community, and the fact that they're back is something to be applauded. They had their first episode of Attack of the Show today, or yesterday, and they had their first show of X Play today. So I think that's really cool that they brought that back. They brought G4 back, and with some of the old cast, and of course, the awesome host Xavier Woods is hosting G4 as well. If you guys don't know, he's a wrestler in WWE, crazy personality. So he's hosting G4, and they have a lot of the older cast on there as well too.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, that is it for me. So I'm done. Anyone else who wants to go, it's your floor now.
Ryan, you got something?
Yeah, I got a couple things. One real quick. So I picked up the Zelda 35th anniversary Game & Watch, or I guess it's for the 35th anniversary. Nintendo really didn't do anything for that. It's fun to mess around with. They've got a couple like hidden things in the games. Value-wise, compared to the Mario one, like the Mario one was nice and it was fun. This one you get 3 games instead of just 1. So
which games are they?
So you get the original Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2, and Link's Awakening, the Game Boy one. I mean, ideally, I would have liked to see A Link to the Past on there, but frankly, you get 3 games. So
that would have
3
been
games.
amazing. Link to the Past. That would have been amazing if they had Link to the Past.
It would have, yeah. But I mean, like, just as is compared to the Mario one, where you literally just get Mario Brothers, it's 3 games for the same price. So, I mean, it would have been nice to have the game everyone wants, but still, it's good value for what you're getting. And it actually has a hidden physical feature where you turn it around, and when the system is on, there's like a Triforce kind of
that's cool,
imprinted into the back, and it actually like glows as you're playing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. About the only thing that I would actually say is that I favor the Mario one over it is it has like a deeper. It's not the Mario red. It's like a deeper, more consistent with the Game and Watch kind of coloring. Whereas the green on the Zelda one seems more like it's trying to match the Zelda series rather than have like kind of an older looking device aesthetic. And I feel like they should have gone with more of like a forest green. It's a really nitpicky thing to say. Frankly, I wouldn't say someone should avoid buying it because the color is what it is. But
I agree with you.
yeah, I would say for what you're getting, you're paying slightly less than a cost of a Switch game.
I see what you mean. Like the outside of it, of the actual console is like that little.
Yeah, it's a really light.
Yeah, light green.
It almost makes it look like cheaper plastic, even though the plastic is the same quality as the Mario one.
Yeah,
that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, I don't know. I'd recommend getting one if you're into Zelda. The main thing I wanted to talk about, there's been a lot of. It kind of died down after last week's podcast. I think it's been long enough where it stopped being a hot topic to talk about, but the Nintendo Switch Online, the expansion pass for the service.
Yeah, I want to know. I haven't got it, so please tell us.
Yeah, so I mean, I actually paid for it and am using it. So I'm going to start by saying I feel like a lot of the commentary online, as I said, it's died down. So I feel like a lot of that was like people didn't like that Nintendo was charging so much, and they were looking to kind of nitpick at what they felt was wrong with it. And you see that if you watch like fair point, I've played the N64 and Genesis. I've not actually played with other people online playing them. But if you watch where people are like really critical of it, the one clip that made the rounds, it had like a warning that the internet connection was basically crapping out. And if you look at the bars, in the top left corner, the guy has no bars. So it's like, whether the service works well or not, you can't tell here because you either don't have good internet or you're too far away from your signal, or your signal is having some issues right now. Like your service provider is having issues getting your service. That's not anything to do with how Nintendo, like, and I'm not apologizing for or like speaking on behalf of Nintendo's service. There are certain things wrong with their online. Like they could have better servers. They're apparently working on some kind of new server for Splatoon 3, but they could have better servers. They could provide us with better service. This is even like for the base package, regardless of what you're paying extra for. I'm not like thrilled with what I'm paying for and getting in terms of the internet, other than the cloud saves, that works fine. But I don't think those are fair points to address as like why the expansion pass isn't necessarily worth it. Like at no point in that advertising did they ever say, and we've invested all this extra money into improving the infrastructure. The infrastructure was, as far as we knew from anything we saw, still going to be the same. And hopefully they'll improve that in some way. Is it worth it to pay for what you're getting for it? The honest, objective answer to that is it depends. It depends, one, on are you paying for a family pass? I am, because I have 2 kids. My kids don't live with me. They each have a Switch. So paying for 3 people to use the same service. And frankly, my kids are both into Animal Crossing. As I said earlier, I'm still playing Animal Crossing. You get the DLC that they're charging you, like, I think it's like $27-28 for. You get that included with your expansion pass. So you're not paying for the DLC codes. And if you have a family pass, then you're getting 3 copies of that DLC, essentially. Like I'm getting 3 copies. You can have up to 8 people on the family plan. So there's a factor. Like, does a person like Animal Crossing? If they do, even like regardless how interested they are in that DLC, that's fairly good value. That's cutting into, essentially what you're paying for the N64 and Genesis games. And then in terms of like how the games play in general, Genesis is fine. I don't think anyone was really complaining about that. Although, interestingly, apparently, sources like Nintendo Life and I think Kotaku is possibly another one, or IGN. Apparently, the Sega games are what's actually contributing the most to the how much it costs, because apparently, like Sega through the Wii era was not happy with how much money they were making relative to what they were selling on the eShop for their classic games. And so apparently Sega has wanted more, like Nintendo, to pay more upfront and for it to benefit them more to have the Genesis games on the Switch. Was that worth it or not? I guess that also depends on like what's your interest in the Genesis games in particular. I've found the N64 games mostly play fine. People talk about input lag. I haven't personally.
I remember. I've heard about that.
I haven't personally noticed it enough. I mean, I don't speedrun anything, so I'm maybe not the best person to ask about that. I will say with the N64 games, it's not ideal that they've mapped the C buttons to the right control stick. I wish they would have either let you customize the controls. I'm not aware of that being a possibility. As far as I know, you can't customize the controls, because I would switch that over the D-pad for sure. At least that would be better. But as far as I know, you can't do that, or like at least like program different options into the software. They probably should have done. How much of a deal breaker that is, like Star Fox, it gets pretty bad in some of the levels where you have to be really precise. Playing through something like Ocarina of Time it's really not that big a deal if you accidentally activate the wrong, like if you pick the bow rather than the hook shot. Nothing in Ocarina of Time requires you to be super fast at doing anything. In terms of like how the emulation is, I'm not even really clear if that's been one of the things that people have complained about. Again, I feel like the games run fine, at least for what I was expecting they would run. Nothing seems like it's slowing down as I'm playing it single player. So yeah, I would say like if someone is interested in that and feels like they're willing to spend what's essentially, I think, about the cost of a game for like each year that you pay for the service, I think there's enough to justify that if that's something that you're interested in. Where I kind of get into, I'm not going to say it's worth it, is I don't know if that really is a valid price point for everyone. I especially don't know like how many people actually care about the Animal Crossing DLC, or at least care about getting that, and how good a deal that is for them necessarily. But no, I've had some good fun with some of the titles. The titles that I have not enjoyed are more like, I didn't enjoy Windback, but like I feel like I would not have enjoyed that on the N64. So like I'm not having
those are kind of clunky on that one, aren't they? Like anyway,
it felt like it was. Yeah, I felt like I got through the tutorial, and also like the tutorial is very like, good job, you did like a basic crouch behind cover. Like everything you're doing is good job. I'm like, I don't feel validated. I feel like you're like baby stepping me through this. Yeah. So like, it just wasn't fun. But yeah, other than Star Fox, the later levels, I've generally had a good time with it. So, you know, another factor is, do you have access to, like, does any person have access to the original hardware? You're probably best to go that route. Yeah, CHRONOZ.
Yeah, I feel like
if you have that,
that's the best way.
If you have that in any case, regardless of talking about this, if you have the original hardware, don't pay for a new version. Just enjoy what you have. You can get things, I think, like for GameCube, where it upscales the.
I'm gonna put it like this.
And you plug it into the video output, and but even still, like, just enjoy the original where you can. Is my personal opinion, and I would not say. Sorry.
No, I don't even know where my N64 is. Mine's gone.
Yeah, I don't still have mine, to be honest. The one thing I wouldn't say is worth it is like, I guess you could properly enjoy the N64 games if you bought the N64 controller that they put out that connects to the Switch.
Oh yeah,
but
you only need, but you have to be a member to get that, don't you?
You have to have the service. You have to be paying for the service, like be a Switch Online member, and then it's basically the cost of a game. So to me, I'm like, you can't justify paying for. If I can't enjoy it properly with the Pro controller, then I probably am just gonna not spend a whole lot of time.
Yeah, because the N64 controller is not even on the same plane as like regular traditional controllers. So when they made games for it, they made games specifically for that controller. So to try to emulate, even when I emulate, it's hard to do it because, like you said, it's because of the C pad is like they have a C pad and a D pad, so it's like it's hard to say, should I just map out on my D pad or should I just use it for the, it's definitely a weird, it's definitely weird to try to do that. And then they were like, yeah, well, if you can't do it, you can't play on the Pro controller. Here's a $60 controller for you can use for the games. And it's like, I mean, like I think Cliff had it and he was trying to use other games for it, but he had a hard time, and I was just like, yeah, that's
that's a pretty, it's kind of a big ask money wise, I think. But I don't know if I'm not going to convince anyone to buy it or not. Ideally play on the original hardware in any case. But like if you don't have access to that and you're willing to pay out the money, I think it's fair enough. I would like to see them offer more options with the DLC that you can get going forward, or at least like maybe offer something different each year, something like that. I don't know. We'll have to see what they do, but they need to add some more value to it. I think.
Or if you want to try it, just ask someone who has a family plan and just jump on theirs.
Yeah.
You can probably get it that way too.
Yeah.
Don't spend any money.
I wanted to say that, of course, for those who have the system like myself, and I was even testing it out because I recently just got this one right here.
Oh, nice.
I found it. So it's like, but for Star Fox especially, I would assume that the one that you buy, the controller you buy for a Switch, already has a rumble feature inside, or something like that, shouldn't it? I would
assume, but I don't know because I'm not.
But see, we don't even know. But the thing is, if you play Star Fox, this is where Star Fox started off with the Rumble Pack. It's like so traditional to do that. I mean, for me, I recommend it. People just get an old classic system, but then it is a little hard. Like I'll play and I'll use extra connections to play on my newer TV, but I do say that if you have it on the Nintendo Switch Online, your quality is probably going to be better than me trying to put it on my big old TV, because it's still that's why I need to downgrade a TV or something, or find a better connection to make it look more proper on my TV, on my newer TV.
Well, are you trying to stretch the ratio, or are you just trying to get better quality? Because
quality.
Because you can just do better quality and just not have the screen ratio on there, and I'm pretty sure it'll look kind of upscale, but like not like
I forgot there is some device I can purchase that's online that would completely disconnect. It would make it look so much more crisp and clear, like it should. I'll probably go and do that. But still you still want to play with the original controllers and the way it was played. Don't say we cannot play it with the Pro. You can't play anything 64 for Pro controller. I don't know why bother. Get the they're kind of sold out right now, right? The ones on online.
Yeah, like the second they went live, they were gone.
Yeah, they were sold out. And again, as much as it sucks to play with the Pro controller, I can't justify paying that for. And you're not getting you're talking about like how it feels good to just click the Rumble Pack in. So you're not clicking anything into their Switch Online. There might be Rumble built into it. I don't know because I don't own one. But like they basically like made a plastic, like it's solid plastic at the bottom. There's nothing will go into it.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not going for it. You know, I've always been such a big Nintendo geek for so many years. Just things kind of really been dying out of me in terms of how the way things are being done. And I've actually, for the first time, didn't shoot out and chase this. I'm just like, forget it. I'm not doing this anymore. It's just not worth it. So many things are distorted or whatever it is, and it's just and because I have the originals, it's just like I don't need to play Genesis. I'll just go buy me an original Genesis. But the whole to get the pass, you still get the Animal Crossing. If I got it, I'm getting it for the Animal Crossing part of it. That's
but then if you look at it this way, like if you're gonna pay $50 just to get DLC, then just pay the what is it like $24.99 or $30.99 just for the DLC?
Yeah. To really, it's
yeah.
like,
you know what? Thank you for telling me. I didn't know that.
Plus tax, $28.99 or
I'm about to buy the whole thing. So just $20-something for the DLC of Animal Crossing.
I think it's cheaper than just getting the because then you look at it this way, like if you get the service and you're playing the service for the DLC. And your time is, your duration of the service is running out. And you decide not to, re-up on it, but you didn't do much on the DLC. You're losing the DLC.
Yeah,
the DLC is not yours unless you have the service. So exactly. I think the DLC was just an incentive for people. But if you really look at it, it's like just pay the $30, and hold on to your service that you already have.
Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, there's really only two ways it's worth it. Either if you look at it as you really want the Animal Crossing DLC, but you also want to play the classic games, then it's kind of you're at least like splitting the cost between those two things. Whether that's worth it, I really can't say. Or like if you're in my situation where you're on a family plan, you're avoiding paying. In my case, I'm avoiding paying for 3 copies of the Animal Crossing DLC, which basically comes out to, when you factor in that it's in CAD for me instead of American, and just generally speaking, that will work out to basically about what it costs just to get the expansion pass anyway. And then we all also get the retro games, whether we choose, like, even if I'm the only one using it, that doesn't matter. That's still extra value.
Right.
There's some people in the chat. Hey, Crystallized Fire and Brian. Brian F makes a good point. As far as Genesis, I already have the 50 game pack for the Switch for $30. Yeah, Genesis has put a lot of, Sega has put out a lot of like Genesis and classic sort of like compilation things on the eShop. I'm not really sure why, especially if the cost of the expansion pass is largely due to licensing, which would mostly be Sega, other than like we're supposed to be getting Banjo-Kazooie at least at some point, so they're licensing from Microsoft also. But largely the licensing cost would be Sega. So if that's the reason, I don't really see why they did it. And frankly, partly not having grown up with Genesis, but also just generally speaking, the launch lineup for that. Not that there's a lot of titles for the N64, but at least what you're getting is like Mario 64, Star Fox, Ocarina, Mario Kart, Sin and Punishment, which was only out here, I think, on the Wii.
Yeah, originally. It only came out for the Wii, yeah.
Yeah, it was never here on original N64. So, like, you're getting a good lineup of games, and they will add to it. We have confirmed Banjo-Kazooie and Majora's Mask, at least, are coming for that. Whether they play well or, like, whether the issues of the Pro Controller wreck the gameplay is a whole other thing. I only feel the one case it does, but you're getting a lot of decent game options with Genesis. You get like Sonic 2, and oddly no other Sonics for whatever reason. You get a Phantasy Star. You get Echo the Dolphin, which I guess is like a cult classic kind of game.
Yeah, it is.
And then a lot of games that I've never heard of are games like kind of, I think, Shining Force and Golden Axe that I guess have their fan bases, but like
I've heard of
I don't know. I've always felt like unless you kind of like grew up with Genesis, there's a lot of titles, at least there is for me, where I'm like, I don't know what this is and I don't really care about it. There's these small handful of things, or like things more towards the Dreamcast era where I'm more interested in. And as I said, or as Brian F pointed out, Sega's already offering collections that you can get much cheaper. So I don't really understand why they decided to do that.
They thought it was just a good cash thing to do. Because I don't know. It's just one of those things that they just thought it was a quick cash thing to do. I was scared about the whole thing anyway. I thought they're gonna rework the entire thing. I was like, yo, you guys are gonna take away $20 a year. I'm gonna be so freaking mad, but they didn't do that. So I was like, okay, cool. They didn't touch that, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So was that it, Ryan? You had anything
else
you wanted to?
Yeah, I said all I wanted to say about that.
All right, cool. All right, now we're going to hand it over to CHRONOZ because I know he has some stuff he wants to discuss. So it's all you. Take it away.
Just a few things. Well, I will start off with. I want to talk a little bit about Ghostbusters and then talk more about my experience at the Midwest Gaming Classic. I was clicking away, real quick, but I'll start off with showing myself looking a little ridiculous. Okay, guys. That's
cool, not ridiculous.
That's me. That's me in my. That's last night. I actually had the. What's these options for? See.
I love that you actually have like your name on the name tag.
Yeah, I was looking at
that. Cool. I see. Last year I bought the same costume, and this year I bought it again. But see, last year the costume was missing, and I had the name tags from it. So I have and the name. So the costume was missing, so I had to rebuy the costume again. I paid another $60. That was around Halloween, so I had the extra one. So I ended up like cutting up enough from the original, and making my last name out of it. I just got lucky having enough of the either way, that's how I got it, my last name there. And this cart here, you see the Ecto 1, you open it up, you'll see in some of the pictures on Twitter that you open it up, that's where you put your popcorn in. I filled it up. It's the only way
really?
the only way I watched my the movie was by putting all my popcorn in it. When I need to refill, I'll refill the inside of the car. There's a lot of room in there. But that's how I ate it, and I went with Luigi's mom.
I thought you just brought that along, but they offered it to you?
No, the AMC, if you go to your nearest AMC right now, at the moment, I'm sure you guys have an AMC, go there, and they'll have the $35 for the car, and it also lights up. The lights turn on. It is dope as heck. I just love the heck out of it. I have it. It's high above. Luigi was trying to get to it. He was playing with it for a little bit, but I had to put it away. But either way, it's such a cool car.
As far as I know, we don't have AMC here in Canada, which is
I have one that's too bad. About half an hour away from me.
It was about the same thing with me. I drove half hour to the AMC, and it was worth to get it. I dressed up, of course. You guys seen that, and I just wanted to go. I was the only one dressed up. I didn't care, man. I didn't care. I was just like, good time. It was just I would just say, I don't want to spoil nothing. I highly recommend it. I was watching the last two movies the last 2 days. I watched the first two that came out. Did not watch the 2016 because that version does not exist with this timeline. So either way, it's just all I could say is that it was an amazing emotional ride, and it was great. And wow, it's just all I know. Like I said, and I recorded some end credits that I caught on my phone. I was just trying to listen to the music and record it. I don't know. Oh shit, But like I said, I can't be posting that because I'll get in trouble for posting some of the end credit secrets. But either way, it's just like a great movie. And I can't wait for. I get so excited every time I see Ernie Hudson. I see him. I like them all. We all love all the Ghostbusters. And what was it? Is it Harold Ramis? Is that how do you say? Is that his name?
Harold Ramis.
Yeah. Yeah. It's of course, he passes away. In real life. And either way, the story kind of plays in with that too. But as we already know, Ernie Hudson will be at the Midwest Gaming Classic in April. So I'm already going to be signed up for that because I am going to meet him.
Yeah.
And I'm tripped out. But anyways, that's it for the movie. I don't want to say much about it. Are you guys going to see it?
Probably because you get the free the Ecto 1. So I'm probably going to go see it and go get that.
Dude, you got
to. The whole reason.
Do it this weekend. So did I just sell you to go to the movie?
Only to get that Ecto 1. The Ecto one
Oh,
is cool. I thought you brought that, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool, you brought it." But if they provide, well, I don't even know if they provide it at the one where I'm at, or if they have any more.
They're supposed to be at every AMC.
But I know that they have like some cool, like authentic ones, like actual figures at Best Buy that I looked at a couple times, and that's actually cool. I think I saw a flying DeLorean over there too. I almost picked that up once.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I like I do like the Ecto one that we got with it because you put your some guy had like 3 in his hand. He bought like a bunch, and
Right.
That's one thing I would say. Get to it this weekend. I don't know if there'll be any next weekend because people are going to be scrambling for those.
I don't think so because it's opening weekend. I doubt they'll have any past that
next week. So yeah, try to get an opening weekend. The next 2 days at least. Should guarantee you one, hopefully. But yeah, it's a good experience. Huh? Someone see some. Hey, what's going on, Geek?
Oh,
Sam,
how's it going?
He's got that face there. We know who he is. So, but yeah, either way, let me get into the Midwest Gaming Classic. Just kind of show you real quick. You guys see that I'm wearing what I was wearing when I bought the half a year ago. I bought the tickets for it, and you get this linear kind of thing, and it comes with an actual game. It comes with a NES game.
Oh, really?
It was like your VIP pass to get in.
Oh, okay.
And it's an actual game that actually plays on your NES. This game is actually a new game for your NES that's created by one of the local game designers, and I guess I don't know if are they from the state or they can play the game. What's it called? It's called Doodle World. I talked to the guy who created it. Him and his daughter had made it, and so either way, it was that's like your Did you say something?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was really cool. So that was a VIP. My son got one too, and let me see. I got some pictures here. I met a lot of awesome people. I did run into this guy here. Okay. This awesome guy. That's John Riggs. If you guys don't know who he is, he's an awesome YouTuber. He's amazing guy. Met up with him. I picked him up at the airport. I offered, to pick him up, and it's cool. Just and hung out for a little bit. I saw him a few times at the Midwest because I wanted to do my thing, and and I met this guy. You guys know who that is? It's on my hat. Mm-hmm. It's this is Brian Hampson. He's the guy who played the Shang Tsung.
Shao Kahn. No, he plays Shao Kahn he plays Shao Kahn in Annihilation.
Yep, and he also did a lot of movies too. A lot of movies throughout his career. He was featured in one of my favorite series, the X-Files. So I was like, oh man, let's do this. So that's why I can't wait for the same place. The Midwest will be having Ernie Hudson from the Ghostbusters will be there in April. So I mean, for me, I'm sure he's in other conventions too. But let's see. And then I met up with the that was John Riggs dressed up as the Sonic baddie.
Eggman or Robotnik. Or Robotnik or Eggman.
The Do Your Nerd guys, they were both
on the podcast, weren't they?
Yep, they were on the podcast.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't on that one. I think
I wasn't either, but I remember.
Yeah,
when it was shared, I think.
So I had a lot of the goodies that I got throughout.
All the swag. I even got some Mario 64.
Yep, Mario 64. I got on the far top left. I got 2 of the guns for the zappers for NES. They're $5 each for the zappers. They work. It's just they don't work on my TV. So I have to find something that I want to play with them. I got they work on Duck Hunt, but again I have to downgrade the TV later on when I get my own place. I'm just glad I got them. Yeah. Some stickers for the car. I didn't go all out because I'm not trying to go all spendy, but that's why I'm thinking for April I want to save up for because it's supposed to be bigger and better. I mean, I thought this one was my first gaming convention ever in my life was the Midwest Gaming Convention. So it was my first one ever. So I've been super excited to go to it. And I even met JLove81, who we had also on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So it was really cool to meet her and meet these guys. It was just an awesome experience to enjoy that time. Let's see. Yeah. So I would just say my rating for the Midwest Gaming Convention was one of the best times I've had when it comes to gaming. I went to a Nintendo one before the Switch came out, really small one, but that was just a little private thing inside. But this was the big convention that I've been to, and just big halls and tons of gaming, arcade games, slot machines, or like pinballs and a lot of console gaming. You could play your PS5, whatever, just everything. All the old retro stuff, old computer games, a lot of things. 50% of the stuff I didn't care for, but I was playing like old classic games like Sonic, Duck Hunt. I was playing Gears of War, the newer one on the newer Xbox. I was playing just things that came to me. My son came with me. I went the first Friday. I went by myself to check it out. My favorite part of the whole convention, besides the gaming, but like better than the gaming, was I love the what do you call those? The name was in my head. Where you buy all the area, you buy all the stands, or where you can buy all the games.
All the vendors.
Yes, the vendor hall. Mm-hmm. Yes, the vendor hall was like Christmas. It was like an amazing, it was beautiful. Just like, oh my God, look at this! I can't believe I'm here. And it was just, and on the channel too. The last 6 videos I posted in the last 2-3 days, I did sections of videos of it. It's over an hour of these videos together with the 6. I got one that started off when I entered it. I got a Ghostbusters theme one. I met these cool guys that were there with the Ghostbuster outfit. They had like these proton packs that great sound effects and things like that. But I had a Mortal Kombat one. I met up with Master Pacina, Daniel Pacina, who we had in the podcast.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was there with the Shang Tsung from the game. And some of the other, even Kung Lao from the original game.
Oh, really?
They were there. I got pictures and all that. They're all in the videos that I posted on our channel here. It was awesome. Those guys are all like Kung Lao. That dude is fitter than fit. These guys are dope. It was awesome. And I spent a lot of time with Master Pacina. I've been helping him do a few little setups. Just kind of like he needed help with this, but I helped him a lot and the best I can. I took a lot of pictures for him and I send him a lot of files. And I've actually been talking to him because I realized too that all those guys live in Chicago, around Chicago. They're just an hour or less from me. So I already talked about after this, from now to the end of the year, I'm going to work to talk to him about hopefully he was interested, but I want to go to his dojo. I want to do some recording. I want to do my first documentary on his life, Master Pacina. And I want to have ideas where I want to record him do a lot of things, and even hopefully I can participate in something too, because I take martial arts too on the side. So it's just kind of, I'm really interested in getting to do more than just the podcast is always great. I love that, but also as I get into other things with the convention, and I can't wait to go to my next one in April, and I got so many ideas, and we're always going to do the podcast. And I got an official, for those who are watching, it's official for Ian Petrea. It's officially will be on the Gamerz podcast show on December 10th. So that's December 10th, where we have he is that boy you see on left and right who played the little brother. I think is Randy from The Christmas Story, the old classic movie from the 80s that plays every year around Christmas time. I have actually had that movie bought. I have it in my digital file, so I'll be watching it probably the next few days. He's like our age now, or my age. About my age now. But either way, I can't wait to have the opportunity to talk to him. He's got something exclusive to talk about, and I don't want to say that, no spoilers, but it would be an awesome podcast to talk to him. And I'm preparing some like intro, outro videos and things like that. So just that will be the next big one. Other than that, we'll just be having gaming podcasts, in between, or when we have something interesting to talk about. But then I'll be doing the hopefully get on that documentary with Master Pacina, and even work with his name is Jay Jackhammer. Jay Jackhammer was he's in the videos too. He was with Master Pacina, and they just finished filming a movie that will be out on YouTube on I think at least around April. It's something to do with a story about Johnny Cage's life at least like 30-something years after or something like that. Mm-hmm. So it's just focused. I need to there's more about that Jay Jackhammer talks about in the Mortal Kombat thing video I did on YouTube.
He was the dude with like the dreads or the long hair or whatever.
Yeah, and he did Drunken Boxing.
Yeah.
He did the drunken boxing, and it was so dope. If you haven't seen it, I'll have to send you that separate file or that video. If you check out the Mortal Kombat one, you'll see that Max Messina does a performance. So does Jay Jackhammer. So other than that, it was a great experience to do that and enjoy an amazing show. You know, the whole thing. I'm sure you guys. I'm sure Kotetsu, you probably done a bunch of those already. You know, like conventions at E3 and things like that. So
yeah, I did like four conventions in the 2 years. I did Anime Expo for the first time in 2018. That was my first one. Then I did a local convention out here, and they're actually bringing it back. There's a convention I need to get tickets for that's happening out here, and they're going to have the voice of Goku and Vegeta there. The actual voices that are currently doing them now, Sean and Chris, they're gonna be at this one, so I want to go. So I went to that. Then I went to E3. Then I went to Anime Expo again. And I was planning on doing it again, but of course, 2020 happened, so we didn't do it. But they're bringing it all back this year, and I want to go. They have an LA Comic-Con happening soon too. I want to figure out when that's going to be so I can do that. It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool.
Let me see if I can whip out a few photos before we close out, or at least my part, just so I can show you.
Yeah, I think after yours, I don't know if anyone else has anything else to add after we finish off with you.
Okay.
I think we'll probably just close it out.
I'll show you real quick, Master of Messina, myself,
Cool.
and then
I saw that.
And then Kung Lao, that guy's dope as hell.
Yeah.
I don't know, just when you see the videos, we check them out. They talk. I even have a few episodes down. I recorded an entire podcast that those guys were on during the show, so I recorded that so you can see them talk about. I didn't know that those guys were in the original Ninja Turtles costumes also.
That makes sense. I saw a pic of it, but I didn't notice until you said
they
something.
talk about it, and I have to review the whole thing and watch the whole thing because I was too excited. I'm like, what? Turtle talking about Mortal Kombat and Turtles, and they were talking about their experiences with the costumes. I was like, what? And this guy was the guy who made the original design for Mortal Kombat. He's the one who created the design. Okay. So I got to do that, and then here is the crew from that. They did that podcast, Jackhammer, and on the right side, just Jay Jackhammer, and then this guy.
He looks familiar. Like you said, Jay Jackhammer's on the right. He looks familiar. The guy with the
look him on Instagram, easily find him. I forgot what's the guy next to him. I forgot his name. He played for Mortal Kombat. He played Shang Tsung for Mortal Kombat.
I don't remember his name. Well, okay.
But yeah, and then of course these guys. Well, that guy in the far left, he's just a podcast guy. He's not the bald guy.
Right.
But yeah, it was. I'll just say it was pretty dope, and they're all going to be there again in April. They're going to get what's his name? The guy who did Jax, John Parrish.
Oh yeah, that we interviewed.
Yeah, so he'll be there. I've already met him. I did a 12K run. You guys know I did with him.
What was
August?
I'm sorry. What was his name? Isn't it Jay Jackhammer?
Yeah, Jade.
Oh, Jade. Okay, Jay Jackhammer.
Yeah, Jay Jackhammer. He's amazing. I talked to him too, and I want to do some video. I want to do an actual focused on, a video on him too. So just I want to go visit them, and I'm hoping that in time. I know they're busy doing a lot of cons right now, so I have to catch them in between, and they're cool about it. We just got to, talk about it. And I want to make really professional films on those two guys. So
yeah, I thought it was the guy I was thinking of, but there was he looked like, I don't know if you remember from the first Mortal Kombat movie, that first fight with Liu Kang. He looked like him for a sec.
So I have here all the they signed my entire hat. Everyone I met there, all the actors and the movie actor in the top there. So it's just, I don't want to wear this hat too much, but on my Miko hat. But anything, let me get out of here. Miko news really fast. It's just we're still on the waiting. We're giving those guys need more time, and it's still cool. I want to get Phil Adams soon again. that's not, we're going to wait on him when he's ready. But again, I'm still hyped up for Miko. I'm just, like I said, having patience. That's all.
Yeah.
And I'm a very big supporter, and hopefully they can come down to the Midwest over here because they're going around in a lot of states. So I will be doing a lot more game stuff for Miko later. Right now, I'm trying to focus on the next podcast for Ian Petrea, and then if we have any other ideas for, I'm thinking of a Christmas one towards the end, near Christmas.
Like you did last year?
Like we did last year. I'm trying to get Switchbit, Master Sword, and James Leiter to have something new. And I love the heck out of the one that remember Switchbit's Christmas song was really dope.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
You guys remember that? Yeah. So it's like, it's just, what if these guys can create something? I know those guys have busy lives, but they love doing their work, and I like to help keep trying to promote them. Or have Master Sword Music. We're gonna have a separate day earlier in January. We're gonna have a focus thing on him again. Another big episode where he reveals a lot of his music. And I thought I heard something from you, Kotetsu. Did you finish something with him a while ago?
We finished. I finished it with Switchbit at least I think it was 2 months ago. But
man,
it's just like you said. He's just like you say. Everyone's busy, so I've already finished. We finished it a while ago, so it's just more of
You probably listen to it every day, don't you?
And it's actually pretty cool, how we did it. It's actually pretty dope.
I'm sure it is. So I need to do a reveal. We need to do a reveal on. So let's say I wish I can get all three of those guys in, and then boom, introducing Kotetsu. Kind of get them in the grind and get you involved in that. So that's something else too. But in the meantime, let's see the next few weeks. Well, next week is Thanksgiving, so we probably won't do nothing there. And then we'll continue after that. But if you have any ideas after that, we'll move in. But we did some good talk. But that's it for me on my part.
All right, so it's about an hour, almost hour and a half. So does anyone have any last minute things they want to say, want to add before we end things off here at all?
No, I'm good.
No, nothing. All right. Well, thank you everyone who was here. We had JKW here. We had Brian come through. We had Geek come through. It was nice seeing everyone here. Thank you again. This is episode 86 of the Gamers Round. I am Kotetsu, and everyone have a wonderful night and enjoy gaming this weekend. And happy Thanksgiving if we don't see you.
Yeah.